There are rise and shine. It's Mer World Card Time and Dan, the great curator. It's another live stream episode of Between Two Slabs. So we'll get people filtered in. Thanks for hanging in. We have a later show today. Dan's in Dallas. He's had a lot of things to do. He'll probably fill us all in. So we just returned back from the Dallas Card Show, and Dan's still in Texas. And we see Dan's forehead right now. It looks like he's in the closet.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix
floor
it.
lamp.
Give me a second.
No, Toa, what's up, man? HK Kaiborn Collectibles, let's go. Yeah, exactly. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right.
I know it's probably late. Thanks for the people on the East Coast. I know it's still 9:30 in Dallas. It's a little after quarter till 8 right now over here in LA.
All right. So let's just get into this.
Okay.
This whole show is going to be dominated by the talk of the Dallas Card Show, right?
Right.
It's going to be good. It's going to be, it's going to be interesting because I have a lot of stuff to report on what happened after you left.
What?
Yeah, there's some interesting things that happened after you left.
Oh my gosh, interesting! Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so we'll just get right into it. Okay. Let me give. I want you to lead the conversation on this because me and you had different experiences with this Dallas show, I believe. Okay. But I'll give a preference, little context for our viewers here. So Dallas show is like me and you are like Dallas Card Show fanboys.
Right.
We love the Dallas Card Show. For me, this is my 8th straight Dallas show. I have not missed one since mid last year. Yeah, 8th straight Dallas show. My first Dallas show was the show before National of last year. So for like an entire year now, I've gone to every single Dallas show. I've had great success at every single show. I sell a ton of stuff. It's like the only reason that I'm basically close to breaking even in the hobby is from Dallas, right?
Exactly.
Every other
That's what we have to look forward to, right?
Every other show is a struggle. So we speak very highly of the Dallas Card Show. We love it, right? And then going into this one, I mean, everybody that you'll talk to, with the exception of just maybe a few people there, everybody will tell you that this last Dallas show was way different and, in my opinion, fell below expectations in terms of activity level of what we would expect coming into a Dallas show. Mm-hmm. So that's basically the context for you guys going forward. Merlin, I know you probably have a lot on your mind, a lot to say about it, so I will give you the floor. Go.
This was my 4th one, so I've only done half the amount you have, and it's been promising. Even the week before the National, when they had that 2 weeks before the National, I mean, it was much slower, but I still broke even. I didn't have high expectations for it, but even compared to that, I thought like, it'd be more people from the National. From the show in July, at the end of July when they had it last. But in reality, there was even way less people at this show than the one in July, I feel like, and less energy. I also think maybe it had to do something with, we were at the Burbank Card Show. You didn't set up with me. The Burbank Card Show was a huge success. It felt like the Dallas Card Show here on the West Coast for once. When we never get that on the West Coast. So that was a great feeling. You and I didn't do the Phoenix show, which was a week after, which was actually last week, the week before the Dallas Card Show. And you and I just needed to rest. You come back from vacation and stuff, and I had just done the Burbank. And I'd just rather rest during the holidays. And I talked to a lot of people there at Dallas, and they just said it was just so. That I didn't really miss much, So I was good to hear that, relieved that I didn't attend it. But the show this past week was kind of after being on a high from the National, being on a high from Burbank Card Show, was kind of, to be blunt, was a letdown. There was not much traffic. You said maybe because they increased the table space from 600 to 750 tables, which is a lot of tables, 750 tables. I also blame it maybe that it was big football opening day for like for the entire spectrum, from kids to high school to college to pro, happening all this weekend. And I think that took a big hit because we are in Texas, and that is football country. So a lot of families were out watching the game. Alabama was playing Texas at Texas. And if you left the floor and went to the bar was packed. I felt like everybody was at the bar until the game was over. And I think that has a huge effect. And, there was just, families at games or at college games or high school. They were Little League. And I don't think they were at the show. I wish the show had been maybe a week or two later, not this past weekend. I think that would have helped the booking. But unfortunately, it was this weekend. You and I have, and also people say, oh, you should have more diversity. I mean, I did have diversity on cards. I had sports and other, non-sport stuff. But I don't think that would have helped. I could have had a Michael Jordan PSA 10 card up there for 50, for half the price. And I don't think anybody would have looked at my table that much. I don't think it would help.
I will say this. You have more diverse inventory and more inventory just in general than I do.
Yes.
So like my inventory is very, very focused, niche on Star Wars, Marvel, and just a couple other like random things. But like you have way more diversity in your inventory than me. So I don't think that's an issue.
No, I just don't think they were looking. And also I noticed, we're always kind of dependent on the traffic that also the DCI, Dallas Grading Company, brings in. And they looked like they were just dead the entire week as well. And I remembered also in the very first two shows that I did that our tables, like the DCI area and our tables were always packed because I forgot that they had put up a TV in their side of their tent. And people were always watching the games and stuff from the first two. And he hasn't done it in the last two. And he should have done it at this one. He should have shown the Alabama-Texas game in his tent, and he definitely said that that's his bad. He definitely dropped the ball on this one, and he'll put up a TV in November, hopefully. I said, dude, I will give you money if you need help. I'll do anything, because that brought a lot of traffic, believe it or not. So much traffic that it really helped, I think, our booth for sure.
Yeah. Well,
and I sold 2 cards. That was it.
2 cards the entire show.
Yeah, 2 cards.
Now,
and that was like Saturday closing, and then Sunday. I sold my PSA 10 COVID card, and then I sold a Miles Morales Vibranium card.
Okay.
That was my 2 cards.
Did you sell like raw cards, like dollar cards?
I don't have any of that. It's just too much to bring on a plane.
So the entire show, you only sold 2 slabs. That's it.
2 slabs. That's it.
And 2 graded cards. I sold for you.
I've sold. Yeah, thank you for selling those graded cards for me. I'll give you your 10% commission.
Okay. Did you buy?
That was worse than Chicago and Toronto.
Was it a buying show for you?
No, it was horrible too. Nobody was bringing me anything.
You did get the Queen Elizabeth cards out.
But I went over there to buy them. That was the Queen cards. So and then I scored a really nice 1-of-1 dual auto of Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, which is pretty nice.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. Did you get the Walter card?
No, I didn't get it. I just don't. I'm one of those people that if I'm not selling, I don't like spending that much. I'm very frugal about that. That's just me. I've dropped a lot of money in the last few weeks on vacation and other things for the coming months. So I needed to be a little more frugal with my spending.
And you were buying some wax too.
I bought some wax. Yeah. I bought a box of Mandalorian Chrome and a box of Select WWE, which I'll probably do on a live stream this week.
Okay. All right.
I'm holding on to.
Damn, 2 cards.
Yes.
Have you ever had that low of sales before?
Just a couple of, LA shows. But again, like I think I sold a few graded cards. It was like at the card stock. Those last ones didn't have much traffic at it either. But it was okay. It was low risk because I only spent like $50 on a table.
Yeah,
so it's not really that much.
Than this show.
For you. Oh yeah, Chicago. I still probably sold like close to $1,000.
Okay, and then Toronto was better than the show.
Oh yeah, Toronto way better. Yeah,
wow.
Sales wise, experience wise, no, but
was better than this show.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy because Dallas is supposed to be our best show out of all the shows that we go to, and to hear that you only sold 2 cards, which is crazy. You know, I don't think it's your inventory. I don't think it's your I don't think it has anything to do with your cards. I really
No,
think
I
it was
just didn't have much traffic.
yeah, the foot traffic. That really made a big deal.
Mhm.
You know, for me, I'll tell you about my experience, but let me just comment on some of the reasons that you
And
were
then
talking
also,
about.
the table like next to me was like in and out of being empty and not empty. So the table next to me never got traffic either. So that didn't help things either. You know, you start to learn that you need like other people around you that gets other traffic, and if you don't have that, it kind of hurts as well.
Hmm. I will say this. I mean, I don't like people were talking about the football games and stuff like that. I personally, I don't think that's a huge factor because people who are
Really?
in cards, you know, like people who are in the hobby, like we are obsessed with cards.
Hmm.
We're not missing one of the biggest shows in the country for a football game. You know what I mean?
True.
Like you know, it's like if they're like, would you miss? Like we wouldn't miss it if we lived in Dallas. We wouldn't miss it, even though we wanted to watch those football games.
But
Like
you
they
don't
would.
understand how Texas football is, man. These people. That's like sending
Yeah,
a
but those
car
are
show in the middle of a
casual.
World Cup
Those are
in
casual
England, and
people.
England's in the championship, football game, the World Cup. But we have a car show
Those are
that same day.
casual customers. They probably wouldn't buy anything anyways from us. Anyways, you know what I mean? They might be walking the show for
Hmm.
fun. They might be looking at stuff, but if they're willing to watch a football game over going to the Dallas Card Show, you know, even for one day, they're probably not the clientele that we focus on. You know what I mean? Is what I'm
Right.
saying. So
And I noticed that a
I don't
lot
think
of
that's
my other regular people weren't there either. They came to the Burbank show, and they may have been at Phoenix. I do not know, but my regular customers weren't. The usuals
so.
weren't there this weekend.
So here's what I think. Okay, I think one thing it could be show fatigue, right?
Yep.
Like like every show. I mean, from National to Burbank to now, and whoever went to Phoenix. These are all big shows. These are all 300 plus tables, right? Which
Hmm.
is considered what I consider a big show. So if you are in the hobby full time and you're traveling to each of these shows, it it wears you down. Okay, so I think there could be a little bit of show fatigue, but
True.
I think here's my theory on this. I really think that they oversold the show with vendors. Okay. Not, I mean, and I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing the promoters because as a promoter, you want to sell the tables, as many tables as you can, because that's how you make money, right? So nobody's going to blame
Hmm.
you for that. But when you go from the last show, I believe the last show they had more than 600 tables. They advertised it as 600 plus.
Right.
So I'm guessing that they probably had like 625, 650 tables there, right?
Hmm.
And then this show, I talked to the promoter, and he said that they had over 750 tables.
True.
And I know for a fact that a lot of people that I normally see there that always say hello to me, that walk the floor, they all told me that they had vendor tables this time.
Yes, they
So
did. I noticed almost anybody who came to my booth, who looked at my cards or bought even the
yeah,
people who bought my cards, all had vendor badges on.
yes. So when you take, you know, just assume like each table is one person, but you know, it's probably more than that. But like, let's just say each table is one person. You take 100 to 150 people off your floor. That makes a big deal. That makes a big deal for the rest of the people that have to kind of compete with them. So I really think that the reason that the foot traffic for this show was less than expected is the amount of foot traffic that was there because um, the trade nights were packed. The trade
Yes, they
nights,
were. Oh my God, they were.
like
Jeez.
usual, the trade nights were packed. So there are enough people there and a lot of activity during trade nights. But during the day, I think there's just too many vendor tables, man. I mean, 750 tables, that is an insane amount. That's like triple the amount of Burbank. You know, that's double the amount of any big show. Phoenix, Del Mar, you know, all these other shows that we've been to. So to me, I think that's what it was. I think they oversold it, and they couldn't bring in the type of people that they needed to spend money, and I think that hurt all vendors. everybody I talked to had the same problems as us, where they just said that it was dead. They couldn't make any sales. It was a bloodbath in terms of sales. So that's my theory on it. But I will say this, that I was fortunate enough where I was able to make a couple moves which made the show worthwhile for me. It made the show profitable for me. So I got
you had that crazy night at trade night.
Yes, yeah. So what happened with me, to kind of bring you up to speed, is just like you, I had only sold one card up until
On the
Saturday.
floor. Right.
Up until Saturday, I had only sold one card, which really sucked. I sold a bunch of raw cards though for like a few dollars each, but I don't really count that stuff. That's like nickel and diming. I'm making like $10 here, here and there. But up until then, I actually sold one card. And then I was very lucky, very fortunate enough where this gentleman walked up to my table with a case of Spider-Man metal, which is the hottest thing right now. And he wanted to sell it to me. And I just like you, I wasn't about to put out more money for it after I had not sold much. So I was able to get him to take part trade, part cash on the deal. So I traded away 2 high-end cards that I was holding that I wanted to get rid of that he happened to want. One of them was a LeBron James PMG. And then I gave him cash on top of that. And then I had that case, and I couldn't move the case all day. But at trade night, I had it on my desk, on my table where I was sitting all night. And and people were interested in it, but nobody wanted to like pay the money for the entire case, right? Because I was asking like $8,000 for the entire case, right? And nobody wanted to spend that much money, right?
And how many boxes in a case?
12 boxes.
12 boxes. Okay.
12 boxes. And so it was at like 1:00 in the morning, and I'm getting ready to call it a night because I didn't sell anything at trade night. I couldn't make any deals at trade night. And then luckily, this dude, he wants to remain anonymous, but maybe he's watching. He'll see. He came up to me and he wanted me to break the box, wanted me to tear open the case for him. And I said, I'm not going to do it unless you buy at least 5 boxes. So he got a bunch of his friends together and they all bought 5 boxes. So just to generate the money, I tore open the case. They broke the 5 boxes. They pulled a couple cool hits, but nothing really great. But it was so weird. It's like after they broke it, I could see the itch that they had, like the gambling itch they had in their eyes. So what I did was instead of go back to my room, this is like at 1:30 right now. Gosh. After I made that deal,
I'd already gone to bed, man.
Right. I moved over to where they were sitting, and I just kind of hung out with them. and I just put the boxes out there, and they were just chit chatting, talking, and they're like, you know what? I'll take one more. And I said, okay, here you go. Boom. And then they
ripped drug dealer over here.
Yeah, and they started splitting the cost of the boxes, and then they rip one, and then 20 minutes goes by. Give me one more, okay? Rip it, okay? They pull a big hit. They're very excited. Okay, give me 2 more. Rip it, and then so basically I was just hanging out with them till 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning.
Jeez.
I was like feeding them these boxes, and they kept ripping and ripping and ripping, and they pulled a couple good cards. They didn't pull enough to make the money back on the case, but they were all splitting it anyways. And they were having a good time. But I was happy because I was able to basically liquidate the whole case. And by doing that, that made the whole show worthwhile for me. But I felt very,
a cocaine dealer.
I felt dirty. I felt dirty because like I was giving them the boxes. They were ripping it. They were not pulling the great cards. And I could see the sadness in their face. You know what I mean? It's like I was a bartender and I kept over serving these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Just kept giving them the drugs, man.
Yeah, I felt like a drug dealer. It was weird.
But there was any like really great hits out of that case?
I mean, in terms of rare cards, yeah, they pulled a platinum portraits, which is 1 out of 6 cases.
Okay.
Cases, not
cases.
boxes.
Wow.
Yeah, 1 out of 6.
So the odds.
Cases.
What was it?
Like 1 in 850 packs, basically.
Man. What character?
Okay, but it was Craven. So it wasn't a good card, but it was a big hit, right? They pulled a out of 50 Venom, which was the biggest card that they pulled out of that. That's like $2,000 card. And then they pulled 6 PMGs. None of them were really great characters except for a Scarlet Spider and a Nova. So those were cool. And then some other cards I can't remember, but they didn't make all their money back, but they probably made like, I don't know, 6 or 6,500 back in terms of value, I would say. So it wasn't like a complete loss, and there were 5 dudes, and they were all splitting the cost on that. So like it's just a few $100. If basically I sold them everything, for like whatever $7,800 or something like that. So
Right.
they all lost like $300 basically, $350 or something like that.
In return, you've got your cash now.
Yeah. So I was able to liquidate it. But yeah, it was weird. It was a weird feeling, but that was the big deal that I got that night, and that saved the whole show for me. But I had to, like stay there till 4 a.m. with these dudes.
And then you show up at breakfast with me 4 hours later.
Yeah, I was like, I was a zombie the next day.
God.
But let me just talk about the next day. So
you're on Sunday. So this is Sunday after all this. After I've left the airport.
You left at 2:00.
Correct.
I stayed until the entire time plus an hour later. So I stayed till about.
Of course you did.
I stayed till about 5:30.
Oh my gosh!
I was the last.
You're like, I know you're always that way. They're already, folks. If you've never seen Dan at the Dallas Card Show, like people, they're stacking the cases, they're folding the tables. Like he's the only table left in the venue of all the 750 tables. He's the only one left.
I was the last one to leave. I took a picture of myself with an empty room, basically.
Of course you did.
But I was glad that I did it because I sold more cards on the last day than I did the entire weekend.
What? Really?
Yeah. And then I even had a big couple deals towards the end. Our friend Jordan, and James, our friends from Arizona, they bought some cards from me. So actually, when you factor in all the stuff that I did on the last day, I actually turned out to be a really good show for me. But it was luck. I mean, I would say like it was a huge part of it was just luck and just being available at the right time for people to spend money. Because a lot of people at trade night, they left early. On Sunday was dead for vendors too. Like half the vendors left. So I was just at the right place at the right time, and I was able to salvage it. But I wouldn't credit that to the Dallas show at all. I wouldn't say that it was like a lot of traffic and it was great or anything like that. No, it was just me basically being the only game in town after everybody left, and people were just like spending money for fun.
Just wanting to do some compulsive buying.
Yeah. And then, I had to turn on my salesman skills and, convince people into like buying my cards because, whatever reason. But so I was able to turn around, but it was a struggle for sure. And, I know that you had a bad time there, so I feel bad about that. I know that Bryan, also Sunday League investor.
I know. And remember, like before Bryan even got there, you were like, where should we position Bryan at the table? Because, he's going to have a huge line and it's going to overflow into your table, Merlin. I know you don't want to get mad at Bryan or anything like that, or, his followers and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, let's just put them on the opposite side. And then after all that trouble and thinking, there was no traffic even for Bryan. It was sad.
Yeah, he sold one card. He sold one card. So you beat him. You beat him.
I know, and it's never that way with Bryan. I mean, trust me, like every show, there are like hundreds of people at Bryan's table, and they block my table that I have to tell his people, like, get a line the opposite way.
Right.
And well, we didn't have that issue this time at all. All the soccer people, I don't think, came to the show at all.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I've never seen him so like
obsessed.
I've never seen him have less foot traffic except in Chicago. Yeah. He didn't have many people come to his table, but
this was even worse.
Yeah, he only what's funny? He only sold one card the entire time, and he didn't even sell it. I sold it for him because he walked away.
Of course.
And some dude came up to buy a card, and I ended up selling it for him. So
Oh my God. You know what? I think I'm going to do that next time at the Dallas Card Show. I'm going to just go do other things. I'm going to go swimming, go stuff, and I'm just going to have you sell for me, Dan.
Oh, that would be so funny if you went swimming. But like this show, I had a lot of time to walk around the show for once too. So I was able to pick up some wax boxes myself. And then the one card I'll show you guys what I did. Let me show you two things first, okay?
Okay.
So first of all, I got some raw cards reviewed by Dallas
You did?
card investors. So I got my 2 Yoda promos, P3 promos reviewed.
Eights, they're tough on those.
Yeah, so I got them 8. I got them cleaned up, and then I got them reviewed. So now I have an idea. So I'll send these into PSA, and then we'll see how accurate they are. But here's what's very interesting that I wanted to show you guys.
Okay.
The Mike Tyson PMG that I got in Burbank, which was an SGC 7. No, not SGC. I'm sorry. What is it? SCI? What's it? CGC? No.
Which company? CSG?
CGC.
CSG. CSG.
Okay. So
yeah, it was in a CSG slab. Yeah, the real clear ones.
Yeah, so that one was a 7. So I cracked it. I had my cleaner go to work on it, and then I submitted it to Dallas Card Investors, and they deem it to be a 9.
Whoa, and they're pretty tough too.
Yeah,
they're very tough on their grading. DCI is.
Yeah, so I'm gonna submit this to PSA, and we're gonna see how accurate DCI is. Okay, if it gets an 8, I'll be happy. If it gets a 7 or below, then we got a problem.
There's only once when DCI gave me a grade that ended up being worse at PSA.
Yeah.
There's only one time. Usually it's the same or better at PSA.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with this. Grading is very subjective. Everybody's got an opinion, but we'll see what happens. This could be very interesting. This could be a very interesting play. Okay. Because if it's a PSA 7, which is equivalent to what I bought it for, it's like a $5,000 card, $4,000 or $5,000 card.
Okay.
If it's a PSA 9, it's like a 10, it's like a $12,000, $15,000 card.
So $3,000-$4,000 more?
Yeah, it's like double.
Double more.
Double
yes, right.
Amount.
Yeah. If you said 5 or 6, then 10 or 12. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Yes, this is live. Ripping.
Yes, Kelly.
Why is he always like? Well, he always like messages. If there's a chat, then that means it's live.
I know, Kelly. If you're chatting in, it's live.
Yeah, and Kelly, I'm upset that you didn't go to Dallas. I'm upset that you didn't bring me the super fractors. We were supposed to make a deal, man. Anyway.
I think he was networking. I think in New York or something. Going to parties. Come on.
You should have sent one of your people there. I want that Sergeant Slaughter card. I want that Goldberg.
You didn't get it yet from him?
No, he's holding out on me. Anyways.
Yeah, Kelly, we missed you, man, this weekend, brother.
And then the big card that I picked up is this green Black Widow PMG right here.
Oh, and it almost looks like Scarlet.
Yeah. So this is very interesting play. This card was pulled the night before at trade night. Somebody opened a box, pulled it, and then they brought it to me, and I was able to pick it up. So we'll see what I'm able to do with this, but this is pretty damn cool to have a green Spider-Man PMG. So pretty happy about that. So those are my big pickups from the show. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to add to this before we get into the comment section? Because I know a lot of people have comments.
No, yeah, I mean, you and I also, like I said, we picked up some Queen cards. I got the Queen Elizabeth right here. This is from her rookie year, first cards from 1935. I think she was born in 26. So Princess Elizabeth at the time was 9 years old. The same with this one too. We picked these up. You picked up those playing cards of hers. This is her coronation card. So we picked those up, and I'm going to try to sell those, I guess, now online on eBay or something.
Yeah, a lot of nostalgia around the Queen.
And then here is the Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, 1 of 1 auto.
Man, that thing is really interesting to me because can you show the back of it?
Yes. It's a pre-production proof. It's not a sticker, Dan. It's a pre-production proof. They just don't put the back information on there like they do with the regular card. And it's metal, but if you open this up, this card is very, very flimsy. I mean flimsy, like it will roll up flimsy.
Wow, so it's made of metal. Because it looks like a super fractor.
But it rolls up. It's flimsy.
Okay, and it's not numbered.
No, but they put it as 1 of 1.
Interesting.
It is 1 of 1. See it on on the label. And as you can tell, it
Can you
says
turn it to the
leaf on
side?
it. It says leaf here,
Yeah.
but you can tell this is in a BGS slab.
Yeah,
And
that's upside
BGS
down.
does this with leaf pre-production groups. I
So
guess because they're both in Dallas and their offices are right next to each other. So I guess they
can you
have
turn it? Yeah, you have it
I guess
upside
they
down.
have a mutual
Okay, hold it
agreement.
closer. Because this card, you guys got to see this card in person. This is a beautiful looking card. Um, it's just interesting the origins on it. But I think it looks really cool because it has so much gold on it.
Yeah, it's like a super fractor.
Yeah.
It even says it. It says like super prismatic gold.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in that, contact Merlin.
Yes.
If you're interested in any cards Merlin has, please contact him. The poor guy needs to make a sale.
I'm doing actually pretty good, like on IG sales and eBay. So that's why I'm not too sad. Had a few good weeks, and believe it or not, online sales have been pretty good to me. So I can't really complain.
I need to sell more on IG. I feel like I'm not doing that enough.
Well, people just like see my store on eBay and then they just hit me up on IG because they want to, we can, pass over the,
right.
The service charges and crap.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Let's get to some of these comments here.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Next Level Collecting 47. What's up, all? What's up, man? Good evening. Eric, Adrian, CV Sports Cards. What's up, guys? David, hey, fellas. Leo Solis 510. Are y'all coming to the Bay Area card next weekend? 2-day show, and I just opened the WWE Select Blaster. Nothing good, but I pulled a Booker T Concourse Elephant Prism last night. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. No, I'm not going next weekend. I actually have friends visiting in town from Seattle, and we have a big group of friends of mine. We're going to Holly Bowl to see Grace Jones and Churches. Because I remember, he loves of Great Guard. He loves Churches. I told him I was going to see them. But friends coming in and staying with me that weekend, so I can't go up. I know Donald Show Locator is going. He was trying to get me to go with him, but I can't do it.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't plan to go there. I don't know about you, but I'm having serious like show fatigue.
Yeah.
I feel like I could take the rest of the year off and I'd be okay, to be honest.
You probably would, Dan.
Yeah, but I say that now, and then I'll get the itch and I'll just show up anyways, right? Like I did in Burbank. But
I need another Burbank card show. I just love being so close to here, and I could go back home, and I don't have to pay all that overhead of flying and hotel room.
Right. I just I just don't. I need to take some more time off, even though I took basically a month off from the National up until Dallas. When you don't have like a strong show, it definitely is more of a grind. You know what I mean? So. But for me, my next show is, and then also the Bay Area, that's just a show that we're not going to be able to get to. But the next show is, I might end up going to Las Vegas. We'll see.
You are? Okay, because I was talking to Mo Paper Gems. He's doing that. Plus, he's doing also the industry too. He's not only doing, he's doing the card show for sure.
Las Vegas 2 tables for it.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I just talked to him. Because the card show is the weekend first, and then
the summit is first.
No. The card show is first. Look on there. It's that weekend of the 30th, and then Monday through the rest of the week, Wednesday, it's the summit. They're doing like reverse. You see it? So Mo is doing the card show, selling his cards, which he doesn't have high hopes for. But he's really there for the summit where he's going to be shopping his apparel company, his T-shirts. So check him out on Paper Gems on Instagram.
There's 2 card shows.
There's 2 different card shows? Yeah, I'm talking about the summit has its own card show. Correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not going to the summit. I'm going to the Las Vegas card show.
Oh, when is that?
The week after the summit.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, the summit is hosted by Beckett. It's like networking opportunities for businesses to go there and meet all the industry professionals and things like that. And as part of what they do, they also host a card show as part of it. And it's always been like that. The card show has always been before the summit event itself. I went to the summit last year. I had an okay time.
Oh, you did go to it.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not too excited to go to it this year. The Las Vegas card show is a different card show hosted by a different group of
Oh,
people. It's much bigger, and it's longer. I went there as a guest last year. I walked the floor. I did not set up. So this year I wasn't planning to set up, but our friend Jordan is trying to get me to go with him. So my wife says that she might want to go to Vegas, so I might make an appearance there. We'll see. Um, so that's there, and then there's Del Mar, which
yes.
which
What are you gonna do?
we haven't locked in Del Mar yet. Uh,
We need to, because it's too
I know,
expensive.
it's
I've
like
already had to reserve the hotel room, Dan. So I'm going because I want to sell graded guards there.
okay, yeah. I mean, I'm so tired, but
I know.
I'm so tired. Like I want to support those guys,
But
though,
I
because
told men I was gonna, set up for graded guards. So
yeah,
I need to.
the guys who host that show, Alex and Wiley, they're the Union Marketplace. Great guys, really, really have a lot of respect for what those guys are doing. So I want to go support them. Just very tired of all this traveling, but we'll see. We'll see. I try to go to that,
Okay.
and then Dallas for sure. The next Dallas show, it will be my last one of the year. Okay.
So hope it's not the last one ever.
No, no.
I hope it's a big improvement from this
We'll see.
last one.
But I've already reserved the tables for that.
Okay.
For
So
us,
we have to go.
yeah. So we have
That's
to
what
go
you're
to
saying.
save our spot. But yeah, so that's basically the show schedule for the rest of the year, guys.
I'll be nice and tan by then. So I'll
Yeah.
just be arriving back from the Caribbean.
Good.
David F. The economy is horrible, to put it mildly. Maybe so. The excess money is drying up. Dan, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna be naive and say that doesn't have an effect on what we do, but I still believe that we play in a what we do is a privilege, basically. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Buying cards, selling, trading cards is a privilege for people who have a hobby that they spend money on. That's what it is. It's not like we're an industry that depends on that is what is it called, necessary, right? We're not an essential business. We're not an essential industry where we're tied to how the economy goes. So I do think that even when things are bad or up and down, things like that, then people are still going to be collecting, right? People are still going to be spending money on cards. People, do all that stuff just because the type of people that are in the hobby are people that have a lot of, what's the word I want to look for? Discretionary income. They have a lot of discretionary income to spend, and they choose to spend it on this hobby. So I don't think that it's tied to it, like they go in tandem together. But I do think that it is a factor, because people might be trying to see buying opportunities in different areas, like stocks, for example, or whatever. So they may be saving their money and putting into that or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, Burbank was just a couple weeks ago, and I did great. I did
Yeah.
good as I would do at Dallas.
Yeah. So like, just based on what I've seen at the National and at Burbank, people are still spending a lot of money. There's still a lot of activity going on in the hobby. So I don't think that something has happened in the last week that would cause the market to crash and have the Dallas show be the way it is. I just don't see it that way, being in the mix myself. I really do think that the Dallas show was affected by the fact that they oversold the tables, and they took a lot of people that normally walk the show. They took them off the floor. And I think that's what really hurt the foot traffic.
True.
There. Okay. So let's go to the next one.
Toa, you guys see a shift to basketball? How was the non-sports? No, actually this weekend I saw actually a shift to football, since it was opening weekend. Everybody wanted football, and the people who actually sold cards, they sold their football cards. People were looking for Herbert and Joe Burrow, and even Tua was selling.
Football's king right now.
Yes.
And I don't do football at all.
Basketball's cold.
I don't have one football card, but man, it's like, I would say like, I don't know, 60, 70% of the deals that I saw going down at the show was all about football. And a lot of people came up to me with trying to sell me football. A lot of people came up asking for football cards. it's not something that I want to get into myself, but definitely football is the hottest thing right now. Maybe because the season just started, people are speculating on players and things like that. So yeah, football is definitely hot right now. Basketball, I'm seeing a lot less interest in basketball from my side. Basketball is like the only sport that I do, to be honest. So, but I'm seeing a lot less interest in that right now. And non-sports, I
It's
think
picking up. I think the
going up.
Marvel is definitely picking up with the Marvel Metal.
Yeah, I think non-sports is coming up. Star Wars is still performing well for me. Marvel is red hot right now with Spider-Man Metal. PMG sales are picking up.
Has definitely revived. Definitely revived.
Other types of non-sports cards are very interesting, like vintage Disney cards is doing well for me. What else is TV shows, movie shows, Game of Thrones cards.
Yeah, people were also looking for like Stranger Things cards. Everybody's asking about those.
Yeah.
I need to get on the game with it. I'm a little late to the party, but
right.
I need to find some, and you can't find them anywhere. So I need to start looking on internet for them.
Yeah, music cards always do well for you.
Yeah.
So non-sports is a thing, guys. Do not sleep on non-sports if you guys are interested in that stuff, because it's picking up for sure.
Yeah, Adrian said the Valley Trade Show was dead too on Sunday, so it was definitely football. Is that a premiere show or what was that?
That is the LA Hobbyist show.
Oh, that was
like the San Fernando Valley or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, you showed me pictures of the premiere show. It had one this weekend, and it looked pretty dead.
Right.
Purple Haze. Do you think there are too many shows one after another? I mean, maybe still, but I don't know. I mean,
I would say yes.
Yes.
To be honest, I would say yes. But it's like how can you stop these shows from happening? Because every promoter out there wants to host their show. They want to host a big show because they make a lot of money, guys. Just do this math, okay? Do this math. On average, a table at Dallas could cost like $275. That's what I pay for a table at Dallas, $275. Some people pay more, some people pay less, depending on what type of deal they have and where they are on the list of priority with them. But let's just say $275 a table times 750 tables, guys. How much is that? Let me do the math real quick here.
We're doing the wrong thing.
That's over $200,000. That's over $200,000 just in table fees. Plus, you got to factor in ticket cost and what they make from sponsorships and things like that. So it's a very lucrative business if you can get into it. So I don't blame promoters for wanting to constantly host shows, because all they really got to do is get a venue and provide tables and and chairs and all that stuff, like the logistics. Oh, and don't even get me started on case rentals. Case rentals are what is it, $50 per case?
Right.
And you can fit 4 cases on a table. So let me just do the math real quick here. So 750 times 4, that's 3,000 cases, right?
Yep.
Times 50. Now there's going to be a lot less than that because some people bring their own cases, but that's another 150 grand. So you can imagine that they're probably making over 300 grand per show, plus more, and they have their expenses and all that stuff, right? But that's still pure profit for them. So damn, it's like I feel like I should be a promoter. I feel like
I know, that's what I'm saying. We're doing the wrong thing.
We need to host our own show. We can call it the Break Even Card Show.
I know, right?
And sell out table for that. But I don't blame them. But it would be nice if they coordinated, because I know there was another show in like Nashville that was going on concurrently.
I think that happened last time too.
Yeah, so it'd be nice if these shows would kind of coordinate with each other. Maybe we have like one big show a month, and that'd be okay. But like having a big show every week or so, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, there was so many like card show jet setters there.
Yeah,
that went from Burbank one weekend, then the following weekend to Phoenix, then to Dallas. That's a lot of card show hopping across the country.
If you're a regular in the card hobby, there's probably I would say I don't know, 150, maybe 200 regular people that you see at every show. Probably less than that, to be honest. Probably like 100 people. that you see at every single major card show, right? Like people that go to card shows all over. Me, you, Roth Cards, Kenneth, Bryan, Mojo, a lot of other people that don't have content and stuff like that. So, it's like there's only so much money to go around. You know what I mean? It's like, how many times can we exchange cards and things like that? It gets to be a little bit too much. So I do think that there are too many shows. I wish there was like 4 big shows a year. I wish there was like the National, a Burbank, a Dallas, and then whatever other show you want to put in there, and then just have that be like 4 major shows, one major show per quarter. I think that would be great.
Yeah, and then I think you need to find us. We need to go and try out a pop culture card show or a non-sports card show.
I think we would get killed at that.
You think so?
Yeah, because those shows, those cards that they have, most of them are going to be raw. It's going to be a small show. Most of them are going to be raw. Most of them are going to be for collectors that have been buying this stuff for years and not used to paying for graded
slab.
Yeah, and I think we'd get killed at that show, to be honest.
Like figuratively and literally, they might kill us.
I think it'd be just like when we went to Star Wars, the Star Wars show, and we saw those guys there.
Oh yeah,
like that.
And they're just like scattered on the display case.
Yeah, it'd be like that, and we just can't do business like that because we don't transact in those type of cards. You know what I mean? So, anyway, that's just my thought. Here's Caden. What's up, Caden?
Hey, Daniel. What camera do you use for your videos, dude?
So for my online streaming, I use a Logitech camera. I don't know the brand name, but if you DM me, I can find out for you. And then for my show vlogs, I use the Sony Z1 something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like mine. Yeah,
it's like a tiny compact camera. If you DM me, Caden, I will send you the link. For you guys who don't know, Caden's like a 12-year-old kid. He's a hustler. So I always try to support him. I see him. He's local to Orange County. So always a big fan of seeing Caden.
Yeah, that Sony Z or whatever it is. That's the same one I have too. I may have like the newer version, but I think most people stream that do this or, record vlogs, use that camera. Very popular. Joe S. All indicators point to a downward trend in cards. If you could go back in time 2 years, what are something that you would change about the hobby to help slow down the downward trend?
That's easy.
Okay.
Slow down the rise in prices, right, of cards, because the card market went from like 0 to 100%.
200, yeah.
No, 0 from like 0 to like 10,000% return.
Ridiculous.
Of like 2 months, right? And you just and nothing goes up forever. Nothing goes up forever. And when you go up really, really quick, you're going to have a really, really quick downturn. And that's what happened. And we're still recovering from the peak highs in prices that happened in 2020, basically 2020 from mid 2020 to the beginning of 2021. We are still recovering from those record high prices, which is normal. It's fine. So that would be the only way that I think you could kind of prevent what's happening right now. But it is what it is, right?
I was making more money on eBay during the pandemic than my own job I ever did, and that's ridiculous. I mean, that's a lot of money, man. Yeah. I'm still living off of it.
Those were it seems like it was so long ago, right? It was only like a year
and a half ago.
But man, those were the days. Like
it does seem like forever.
You could not lose. It was like printing money. Like
it was ridiculous.
You get a card, even if you buy a card like Slab, it would go up in a week, and then you could sell it. If you bought a raw card, you grade it, and it comes back quick, you could sell it for like 5x. You could not lose.
It was just gold. Everything was gold.
People who became I know a lot of people who quit their jobs to go into cards full time because of what happened. And I know a lot of people that became like card millionaires that were holding on to inventory before the big boom. And I know a lot of kids that became like full-time hustlers.
I know, right?
Teenagers that became full-time hustlers because they had the cards that are worth 5 figures now. So it was a crazy time for sure. None of that stuff applies to me. I was late to the game.
Yeah, I would have learned to just cash it all out and not get too greedy and just sell as much as you can during that time.
If I could go back in time, I would I would cash out everything.
Yes,
And
during that
yeah,
time.
I'd cash out everything.
And I would have known not to at the very end send all the bulk to PSA, because knowing that it wasn't going to show up till 2 years later.
Yeah, I would cash out on everything, and I would go retire in Mexico.
Yeah. Oh, Mexico.
No,
Oh,
I'm just
man.
kidding. Thailand. I would go retire in Thailand.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Showtime, you were feeding them cardboard crack. Yes, he was.
He's
talking about
yeah.
the Spider-Man metal universe.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like a drug dealer. I felt dirty for sure, but
you looked dirty too when I saw you.
I know, but you know what? I had to do it. I had to do it to survive Dallas, guys. So.
And he's just hanging it over their noses too, while they were opening these boxes.
But you know what I did?
You want more?
I felt, that's what I did. I was hanging out with them, and I had the boxes laid out for them, and I was like, you know what? Maybe the next box, guys. Maybe it'll be the next box, right?
Oh my gosh!
But I felt so bad for them that I took some of their cards for them, and I took them on consignment, and I sold their cards the next day. So
well, that's great.
Yeah, so I made them a little bit of money back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ed Ram, what's up, Ed? Howdy, y'all from H-Town. It was great meeting you, Merlin. Yeah, it was great meeting Ed and his nephew. I think it was your nephew, Ed. But they are big watchers of our show, so it was great to see them in person. Toa, the great pusher. Yes, he is. Not the great curator, he's the great pusher.
Yep.
Pusher man. Ed Ram went to Dallas with 4 shoe boxes sold. You did sold everything. Look at Ed. See, we were on the wrong side of the table.
Ed is the exception.
Idner's Hobby and Gaming. Mubahi from Philippines. Welcome from the Philippines. Hope I pronounced that right. Sorry if I didn't. John, what's up, boys? What's up, dude? John, again, we thinking rocky weeks ahead in the market. There's been amazing turnout at shows and cards, getting big numbers, but I feel the card market is behind on what's happening on a macro level.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's a little bit of show fatigue, you know.
It is. Like I said, I mean, just 2 weeks ago, I killed it. Bryan killed it. I mean, it was packed. It was so packed. There was so much foot traffic, and then this time, there was no foot traffic. But like I said, also, like we said, it's a combo of too many tables. Also mixed in with that, it was football opening weekend for Texas. How difficult is it to sell your HGA slabs? Very difficult.
Very difficult.
If you watch my video on YouTube, go to Merlin Cards. I cracked a bunch of HGA slabs. I sent the PSA because they were, hot cards that weren't just moving. I mean, people just do not like it in an HGA dress. They want a PSA dress.
Yeah.
So you got to redress it, folks. Because they just don't want to even look at it. They look at it and they see the slab and they don't know what carat that's inside it.
Whether you like it or not, the slab matters. The label matters. It does. Okay. Whether you want to acknowledge that or not, that's what the market says. I have great cards in SGC slabs, and people just look down on it like it's a piece of crap. HGA,
even SGC, and SGC has a lot of respect, believe it, folks.
Yeah. HGA, some people are too just. No, HGA is worse.
HGA is the worst.
And then anything below HGA is like it's almost fake. It's almost like it's a fake card, right?
Yeah. So, it just believe me, it's like poison. It's like they have leprosy. And right. I'm already ever since I resent the HGA cards to PSA, then it doesn't even matter what the grade is. I'm already seeing a huge difference, and I'm already turning those cards over now. They're already getting notice.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're trying to buy, sell, and trade cards, PSA is the easiest slab to move. Second would be Beckett, but Beckett, for some reason,
I think it's SGC now.
For some reason, it's like you get half the value of a PSA
it's
slab.
Crazy.
It's crazy. And I'm not.
I wish it wasn't that way. I wish it wasn't. I really fought hard for the other companies.
Right.
But the reality of it is that's the way it is. It sucks, but
I'm not trying to do anything about it. It's the same card, right? It's the same card, just
the same damn card.
But that's just how the market is. You can't fight it. You can't fight it. If you're going to be a vendor, buying, selling, trading cards on a regular basis, you cannot fight the fact that the market prefers one label over another.
And it's
All right.
so crazy. Like even HGA has like subgrades, and I sent the cards in, and many of my gem mints came back not gem mints from PSA, but yet I had other cards that were like HGA 9s that I thought maybe get worse, and they came back PSA 10. So go figure. There was a lot of inconsistency.
The way that I see it is like any slab that's not BGS or PSA, even SGC. I'll throw SGC in there because
SGC does well now.
Yeah,
they do very well.
Yeah. But every other
you don't get the high premium as you do with PSA.
Every other slab, I treat it as raw. I treat it as raw card, and if it's slabbed, I just use that as an indication of what I think it could grade at. But it's going to be basically raw value for me. And then I crack it out, and I'll send it into PSA.
So should we go and buy up cards that are in HGA slabs?
Well, I mean, yeah, because like I bought that's what is it? SCG? No.
CSG.
CSG.
CSG is the sports version.
Sports card grading, right?
And then what's CGC is the Pokemon.
Okay. First of all, these damn grading companies, they need to stop using 3-letter, acronyms.
CSG is the sports version of CGC.
Yeah. Can they just like use one name? It would make it so much easier. Okay. It doesn't, all these companies don't have to have grading and sports in their name, right? Can they just like use a different acronym? It's too damn confusing. But I bought that Mike Tyson with the intention of cracking it. So, I'll buy cards with the intention of cracking it. And
that wasn't a CSG slab.
Yes.
Which are very beautiful slabs, but they don't get the respect.
Yeah. And then you got these new companies like Tag is making waves right now, but like
they look nice too, though. That has the same
design.
Really clear glass as CSG does.
Beautiful design, nice concept, but unless it carries a premium value, I'm not interested. You know what I mean? So, and then other companies like Rare Edition is very interesting too, but it's just like unless the card carries a premium, I'm not interested in it other than, maybe a PC item for display, basically.
It's going to be tough to start up a company against all, PSA and the other companies.
Yeah.
Already established.
All right. Let's stop.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Look, it's funny. EJ, any thoughts on the top Star Wars T206 Wave 1 release? I just read that email and opened up the tops about these cards. Dan, what are your thoughts?
I just saw that today. I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay.
I think it's super cool because I love that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's going to hold any value. I know Star Wars purists are probably going to hate it. Right. But I think it's cool. I think it's like a novelty item. I'll buy some just for fun. I think it's cool.
Now tell me, I was going to ask you, it says it's a box, but then when I look down, it has all these like allocations of inserts and other rare cards. So I got kind of confused. So do they have rare inserts in the set, or is this a box? I couldn't understand.
I haven't looked into it.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know. I can't answer that, but I mean, I just looked at the design. I think it's cool. It reminds me of like Allen and Ginter cards.
Yes. The mini ones.
Yeah, which I think are cool. I don't know if it's going to be valuable or anything like that, but I'll just get some for fun. As long as they're not too expensive, I'll get them for fun. I mean, like with Sapphire, when Topps Star Wars Sapphire came out, I thought that was super cool, but the price got too high for me for what it was.
So, folks, if you don't know, these are Star Wars cards that Topps just released, and they look like the T206 cigarette cards, like the Honus Wagner stuff. So they're kind of mini and skinny, like the vintage baseball cards from like turn of the century.
Right.
Toa, do you always use GNS on Instagram?
Goods and services on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm buying
something,
if I'm buying something, yes, goods and services, because I need to be protected unless I know the person. Okay. When I sell stuff, if they want to cover the fee on goods and services, they can use that. Otherwise, I think my reputation is good enough in the hobby where people can trust me. But that's up to them. Okay. But I always pass the fee on to the other person if they want to use goods and services. But when I do it, unless I know the person, I always have to do goods and services because I feel like a lot of people try to scam me online all the time. Like they're always showing.
I know. I'm always worried about that. Yes.
Like people, I have no idea who they are. They're always saying, "Hey, love your content. Here's this card. You want to buy it? And it's
Yeah,
just
all
like
the time.
all the time.
So what is this goods and service on Instagram? Could you explain more to the
No, I
viewers
think
and
he's
me?
talking about like PayPal or something. Right?
Oh, is that what he's doing? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that's what we always do, right? PayPal or Venmo.
Yeah.
I mean, goods and services on PayPal, of course, like you said, if we don't know the person. But a lot of times people who know me, met me at shows and other dealers, they either just Venmo me or do friends and family.
Okay. But
that's with me though.
Yeah, since he brought this up, let me just tell you what really bends my corner. PayPal. I really hate PayPal. I hate
too.
PayPal. I might stop using PayPal, to be honest, because people, they come up to me at shows and they ask me to pay with PayPal, whatever, fine, I take it. And I always tell them, friends and family, okay? Dude, friends and family.
Especially at the show.
Yeah, friends and family, and then they'll pay, and then they'll use a credit card, and then it charges me a fee. You know what I mean? And then it's like, then we got to like work it out, and it's a pain in the ass. And now, like with my business account, they won't allow friends and family, so I had to create a separate personal account, and then I started taking payments on that, and then they froze my account because
they do that all the time.
Because they wanted to verify that this wasn't like a scam or something. So it's like they make it so difficult. You know what I mean? In terms of how you can use the app. Zelle is super easy.
Yeah, good.
Venmo is super easy. That's what I prefer.
Cash App, I think.
Yeah. So I hate PayPal. I hate PayPal. Okay. I'm about to stop using it.
No, I've had PayPal like just freeze me on a $20 purchase, and I have to call them, and I'm like, dude, why are you freezing my account on $20 purchase? That's ridiculous. I can understand if it's $2,000, but it's $20.
And I tried to call them today, and I waited for like half an hour on the phone, and I quit because I was just so frustrated with their service level. So, PayPal sucks. Okay, that's my comment on that.
Ryan Sanford, East Coast National was also a couple weeks ago, which was pretty big for Northeast folks. Just to add to the show fatigue effect.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, that's funny. This next comment, I don't know how relevant this is, but I think it's funny, so I'm just going to highlight it.
I like funny ones. Rip and list. Oh my God, I hate you. Thanks, Kelly. Merlin, you're no spring chicken. You have a girlfriend. Why not pop the question and we'll have your bachelor party in Vegas during the summit? Let's go. Maybe next year. Yeah, great. Maybe next year, Kelly. We're going to I'm actually taking her to the Caribbean in October.
That's funny. Why would he say that? That's funny.
Yeah, that's Kelly, of course.
Yeah.
Just to embarrass me. Stephen Hong, thoughts on Fanatics being able to take the hobby to the mainstream?
It's going to happen.
Definitely. I mean, it's already mainstream, but even more mainstream.
Yeah, I've been privy to some conversations, some information. Can't disclose it, but I am very certain it's going to happen, and that's one of the main reasons I'm so active in the hobby, because I want to be here when these things start to come to fruition. I want to be part of this next big boom. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know the timeline for it, but I'm very confident that Fanatics is putting a lot of their corporate resources to pushing the hobby to new levels, and I think it's going to be huge. Okay. And let me just, this is separate from Fanatics, but let me just give you guys an example of what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
So Disney is coming out with a TCG game, a Disney trading card game.
Right. I remember you talking about it.
And if Disney starts making cards and they start selling cards in theme parks or their stores, believe me, all these Disney fanatics are going to be all over that game. They're going to play it. They're going to collect all these cards. And then if some of these people start grading these cards and then they start to get into the collectible aspect of the hobby, it's going to be huge. So just whenever like big corporations start to really pay attention and start to market their stuff, that's when you're going to get the mainstream to come in. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that I saw a graphic on Sunday Night Football where they advertised the QBs and they put them in PSA slabs when they showed their pictures.
Well, no, I missed this part.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw top QBs, and it had like Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, and Tom Brady in PSA slabs on Sunday Night Football or something like that. Maybe somebody saw that. If somebody saw that, please confirm, because I'm pretty sure I saw that. So it's just like things like that. Like when you start seeing things like that mainstream on TV, when you start seeing things that can be purchased on major websites, like WWE sells their select boxes on their stores,
Well, they
things like
do.
that. Yeah, that's when things are becoming big, and as more people come into the hobby, there's going to be more demand, and prices will go up on things based on demand. So keep that in mind.
Nice. Temple Bird flippers have dried up. That's good for the rest of us in the hobby. That's so true. Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't seen a lot of the usual flippers at shows anymore.
yeah. So a lot of flippers who can't hang in the market or choose to go to other markets, they're definitely dropping off. From where they were a few months ago. But I will say this: I think that flippers play a necessary role in the hobby. I mean, me and you are flippers, Merlin, essentially.
We
You know
are
that?
okay.
We are. We're just not as aggressive as some of these other guys, but
Right.
that's essentially what we do as vendors, where
Right.
we set up a shows. But flippers are a necessary part of the hobby because we need turnover. We need transactions to happen. We can't just be like collectors buying cards and holding on to them. You need to turn these cards over to generate that sales data, to generate those comps that people work off of and things like that, and to just kind of drive the hobby and to move money around. Okay. When money
Okay.
stops moving around, that's when things get really tight in the hobby. So how about I don't know what that means.
Okay. Cooter, what's up, Cooter? It was nice to visit with you in Dallas. IMO, it's going to get tougher as folks are starting to put money back for the holidays.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll spend a little in November for the
Yeah.
holidays.
Always good seeing you, Tom.
Yes, love Cooter. Love the name. Love how he got the name Cooter from Dukes of Hazzard.
Mm-hmm.
Lee Haskins. I'm pretty lucky living in Virginia. I have 2 big shows a few times a year in the Chantilly and Philly shows.
Yeah, maybe we'll make it. I mean, we're not going to go this year, but maybe next year we'll make it out there. It's just hard for us coming from California all the way to the East Coast,
To
but
Chantilly.
yeah, I'd love to experience one of those shows sometimes.
John, any new trends emerging or sets, characters that have the equivalent of a hyped rookie that's getting a lot of traction?
Is he talk? I think he's talking about like non-sports.
Non-sports. Well, yeah, I meant for like Marvel, I meant the Miles Morales have always done very well for me. I've been selling those almost every show. Dan, how about for you?
Emerging sets, Spider-Man metal is red hot right
Yes,
now.
definitely.
That's what I'm seeing. Characters, I don't know about.
That's what I said. The Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't know about
Spider-Man.
characters. I mean, characters is just it's very subjective to what people collect.
Mm-hmm.
So with non-sports stuff, it's based off of what people collect. Like it's more collector focused. Some people love Spider-Man, some people love Black Panther, X-Men,
Yes,
Batman, Superman, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, right? So it's very collector focused, rather than in sports where it's based on hype and performance. But I will say that also the content that comes out has a lot to do with it. So if there's a new TV show that's coming out and they're hyping it up a lot, like they did with Game of Thrones, you can expect a lot of activity with that. So things like that.
Yeah, and I think Black Panther comes out pretty soon too, doesn't it?
Yeah, November, I believe. Which
yeah,
I'm super excited to see that movie.
and I'm sure, yeah, those cards will do well. Anything with Black Panther on it.
Uh-huh. Here.
Adrian, PSA overall best, SGC only vintage and low value, Beckett thick card with auto, CSG good luck. David F. laughing out loud. You guys should do a show on the CSG, SGC, PSA, etc. It's like Laurel and Hardy. Who's on first? CSG,
Yeah,
CGC.
Yeah, we got a lot to say about those. We got
a lot of initials.
Yeah.
Big John collector's cards. Best way to determine value on Star Wars sketch cards.
Look up the artist. If you can read the signature. Some of these artists have like the worst signatures, like worse than these basketball players, right? But if you can figure out which is the artist, then you can see comparable sales for what they have.
Yeah, and just type in their name and stuff in eBay and see what has sold, not what's listed, see what's sold. And you'll see, because a lot of these artists do sketches for like for Star Wars, for Marvel, even for sports cards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A next level collecting. I've stopped using PayPal. They hold funds so frequently, no matter how old your account is.
PayPal sucks. That's my opinion there.
Leo, you're right about the Sunday night game showing the QBs and slabs. Oh, it was Sunday night game. It
I
was
knew
the
I saw it somewhere.
NBC Sunday night game. I didn't notice it, but I'll have to look again.
Yeah.
Because that was the Bucks Cowboys game. Okay, next.
I'm sorry. Some of these comments are very long. I gotta I gotta screen them just to make sure that there's no shenanigans here.
Offensive.
Let's see here.
Chuck, Spider-Man metal goes on sale tomorrow on ePack. Any thoughts? It's fun, but I heard the rumor was there's no PMGs in the ePacks this time.
That can't be true.
That's not true.
That can't be true.
That was a rumor.
Yeah, I didn't hear that rumor at all, but I know that can't be true. I'm gonna try it. I've never actually done ePack, to be honest, but
I want
to try it out because Spidey Hits, he talks about it all the time, so I'm gonna try it out and see. Man.
Because last time I did it, I was doing the Spider-Man movie, last one, the 2016, and I pulled a Zendaya PMG from it, and I got it graded. Came back a 9 and sold it for a premium.
Uh-huh.
I pulled autograph cards and everything, and it's kind of weird because when you pull the packs, when you finally get them, it takes a while before you're able to redeem it into a hard copy. And I think they have a deal with ComC, and ComC actually mails out the hard copy card to you. John, anything left on the hit list that you would like to buy before the end of the year? And do either of you already own your Grail card? If not, what is it?
I've got a lot of things on my hit list. I don't own my Grail cards.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, I just haven't got around to doing it because I don't know. I haven't found the right opportunities. So I do have a lot of stuff. Like, I don't want to list it here because there's just too much to remember. But yeah, I've got a lot of targets that I would love to buy. But I don't know. Like, for me, it's like I have to see something to really go after it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like, it's more fun for me to go to a show and see something really special and go after it than constantly try to hunt for a specific card. Because honestly, if I really wanted my Grail card, like one of my Grail cards is the Kobe Bryant 1996 credentials card. If I really wanted to, I could go out and pay the money to get it. But that's like too easy. You know what I mean? Like it's too easy to go out and do that. I got to have the right scenario where I can pull a deal off to get it, where it really has some meaning for me. I don't know. That's just how I feel.
Like comes to your table?
Something like that. Or if I get the opportunity to trade into it or buy it at a good price, things like that. But I mean, there's a lot of cards that I want. I mean, just like any collector, I mean, if I had unlimited funds, I would like have this amazing PC, but you got to be selective about what cards you want, right? And that might change, from a couple months here, a couple months there, depending on where your interest turns. Like right now, we love Star Wars, and then in a couple months it could be Marvel, and then in a couple months it could be WWE, right? So it just kind of jumps around based on our interest at that time. How about you?
Oh, I mean, I have some of the lower graded of some of the Grail cards I have, but I would like to have higher grades. Of course, I'd like to have a higher grade on that Prince card. And then that's from that same set. I've already bought the Talking Heads PSA 9. And God, who else? I have a Bob Marley PSA 8 from that set. But yeah, there's other things. I would like to get a Stranger Things autograph set. That would be nice. But, it takes a lot of money. So many things. And oh my God, that someone actually owned. I met the guy at Burbank. He actually owned the 1995 Panini Smash Hits Nirvana PSA 10. It's the only PSA 10 in existence, and he had already sold it on eBay for like less than $2,000. And I was like, man, I would have done anything to own that card.
Oh wow,
yeah, that would have been a holy grail for me. What's this one again? You and Scott Tomono. What is your favorite website or app to check prices on comps? Thanks.
I would say eBay is the most common one, but now I'm starting to use Market Movers. They've kind of given me we're doing like a partnership collaboration, so I'm starting to use Market Movers now, which is pretty cool. I do have a coupon code if anybody wants to try it out. It's like $1 for the first month, so try it out. It's actually less than that, guys. They advertise it as $1, but when you punch it in, it comes out to be like 20 cents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 20 cents. So just try it out, see if you like it. I think it's a cool, it's an interesting, what's it called, like user interface that they
Yes,
have.
it is.
So I
It's
like
getting
that.
easier too. I use market movers.
Yeah, and then I'm also promoting a Star Wars index, which will be dropping soon. So, all the Star Wars cards that I'm always talking about, we'll be able to track most of them on that index. And I think that you guys will really like it because I've seen some beta versions of it, and it looks really cool. So stay tuned for that. If you want to use the Market Mover app, just use my code. It's Curator, 20 cents for the first month.
And also, Market Movers has their own YouTube channel, and they have a lot of like how-tos, how use the interface of the Market Movers app, which helps a lot. EJ, best app to keep inventory of your non-sports cards.
To keep inventory of your non-sports
cards.
There is an app called Magpie, which is not available to the public yet. But me, Merlin, Bryan, Sunday League Investor, we have been demoing it for them. Right. So when that goes live, that will be a game changer for a lot of people. We're really not supposed to talk about it, but since you asked, it's an inventory tracker that is unlike any other one that's currently available. So I think that you guys will like it. We're helping them. We're not part of it, but we are helping give them feedback on it. So Magpie, you can check it out. I don't know what they have on their website, but they will have an inventory tracker coming out pretty soon.
Just Collectibles. Spidey Hits is not doing e-pack. Apparently, it's going to be $500 plus per box. Oh, the price is an e-pack box.
Well, interesting. Well, he did buy like 6 cases that he's already ripped. That
just about 6 cases. Oh, he did a whole break on them.
Yeah, that madman. So I don't blame him.
Lord have mercy. Yeah,
I'll try it out.
You're gonna buy a box or just do a couple packs?
I'll buy a box. I'm not gonna buy packs because just like the odds of buying one pack sucks. So you got to buy a box. So I'll try it out just to see what this whole e-pack thing is like.
John, the guy from Market Movers, is making some crazy investments right now. He grabbed the 1984 Star Jordan for $100K, just sold on golfing for $440K.
Golden.
Oh, golden. Oh, he's got golfing on golden. It's the same card. That's Jeff's card.
Jeff Wilson, that's a Market Mover guy. Yeah, he's a baller. He's got a ton of money. He bought a Star Jordan PSA 8 at the National for $100,000. That's another PSA 8 sold on Golden a week later for $115,000, and then the recent sale on Golden for a PSA 9 sold for $440,000, which is crazy money for that card.
Gosh, man.
Which shows you, going back to what we were talking about earlier, shows you that the label matters, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, because all these Star Jordans wore BGS something at some time. They were like BGS 9s or 8.5s or 9.5s until PSA started grading these at the National and people crossed them over. And they've been selling for way, way, way more than what they were in the BGS slab. It's the same card, guys. So, people are paying a premium for the label which sounds ridiculous, right? But you got to understand that the reason they're doing it is because the PSA brand carries a lot of weight. It's the same concept as if you buy a pair of sneakers that's made by, I don't know, whatever company versus Nike. It's the same material, same use, same design, whatever, but the Nike brand carries a lot of premium value for it. Same thing with PSA. I think the PSA brand, the reason it carries a lot of value is because they've got this huge infrastructure that supports the hobby with their app that they can use to scan and catalog.
They'll define the pop report and everything.
Yeah, their cataloged pop reports, their presence at every show, their design of their slabs, all that stuff. But mainly it's like they are the most trusted name in the industry right now. Like if the hobby suffered a catastrophic loss where half the money left the hobby, just half the money left the hobby, most of these grading companies would fold. And the only ones that would be left would be probably BGS and PSA, you know? So, I think that carries a lot of weight in terms of security and value in their cards. Do they grade better than everybody else? I don't know. Honestly, it's a crapshoot. I don't believe that they grade better than any of these other companies.
Yeah, it depends on who is the grader at the time that gets your submission at PSA.
Right. So I think the grading is pretty equal across the board. I'm just assuming, but in terms of infrastructure and added value that translates to premium value on their cards, PSA is the king.
But I have another bin my corner.
Okay, go ahead.
I had some cards that came back from PSA, and I was wondering why one of them got a 1.5. I was really confused, and then I got it back, and there is a huge crease in this card in the middle that I did not do, and I had to file a claim.
Let's talk yesterday. About this. I'm gonna tell you this story. I'm gonna tell you the story. In order so that I don't get heat for this, I'm going to leave out specific names, and I'm going to leave out the card. Okay. But I'm going to give you the context of this story here so that you guys can hear what happened. All right. Because I want people to know about this. And this doesn't involve me. Okay. This doesn't involve me, but it involves somebody I know who I helped try to facilitate a resolution to this problem. Okay. I don't know. And the problem's still going on. But anyways, so basically a friend of mine sent in a card, to get graded. It was a crossover from BGS to PSA. They graded it. They graded it a certain grade, which was great, which is worth like $100,000.
Wow.
Okay. At that grade, but they damaged it, and it went down 4 grades. No, 3 grades from the damaged it. They damaged it during encapsulation. Okay. And it went down 3 grades. And because of that, it dropped the value 80% on it. And they acknowledge all this. And but here's the thing. So when they damage your card, they pay you out on it. But they only pay you out based off of the level of grading service that you sent in. Right? Because whatever level grading service that you send in, it's insured for a specific amount. So this card, even though it was valued at like $100,000, the grading service level that this person chose to send it in at only covered about $20,000 of that, based on how they sent it in. And that's how they cap it off. So you guys got to understand this. So when you send in a card that's very high value, you got to pay attention to those service levels, because if PSA damages cards, which happens more often than you think, they will only reimburse you for the service level that you sent it in at. So if you're trying to save some money, just be aware that you can get screwed over. And that's what is happening to this guy that I know right now. They're still trying to work it out right now. So hopefully PSA will step up and do the right thing with this, but they're holding firm at their policy. So keep that in mind. Okay. With how they damage cards. So that's probably what happened to yours, Merlin. They damaged your card, and
I sent it in regular submission, which is the $100 submission with some other cards. It took over 2 months to get the submission, and I'm wondering maybe this is why, but they did not notify me about the damaged card. But why did it take longer? I got all my economies even back before the submission, which I found very odd. And then this comes back damaged. Very, very odd.
Yeah. So,
the very first card I ever sent in the PSA got damaged, but they, called me on it. It was a numbered out of 10, just a flawless autograph of Patrick Mahomes, not an RPA, but just a autograph one, numbered out of 10. And they totally tore it up in half.
Yikes.
When they were putting in the case, but they called me, they paid, gave me the money that I requested. And then they also asked if I want to slab it. It came back. They gave it like a PSA 3 or 4. And I still sold that card way more than I paid for it. Yeah. So came out ahead, but it still sucks though.
Yeah.
It sucks that your very first card you ever submit to a grading company comes back damaged.
Yeah. If you're within their policy guidelines, they will pay you out on stuff. For sure. But they're very strict with their policies. So just understand what that is, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next one.
Where do you guys stand with Fleer or Star now? What is the rookie? He's talking about the Jordan card.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this debate goes on endlessly. I would say that for some reason the market has determined the 86 flare set to be his main rookie card. It's a pack pulled rookie. Um, it's an iconic photo of him doing a dunk. It's a beautiful design,
Right.
red, white, and blue. That for me, I love that card. I think that's his rookie, but I mean, it's hard to argue that Star came out 2 years before that. Star came out 2 years before
Right.
that
In
86 flare
'84 and this is
card.
'86.
The reason people say that Star is like an alternative rookie is because it came in a team pack. So like every pack had a Jordan rookie in it. I think that's the story. Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
wrong.
It's not like you open a pack and you don't know what you're going to get. This
Yeah.
is what you already. It's already a established set that came in a plastic pack. You
Yeah,
knew what you're going to get.
and the stars were very limited. The star packs were very limited in terms of availability to the public. I think
Right.
like 2,000, something like that, were out there. So I mean, I don't know. There, like Beckett has this very specific definition of what is considered a rookie card. I don't know what it is. But I know one of them has like you have to be able to pull it from a pack for it to
Right.
be considered a rookie, something like that. So right, and then, so they call it like a alternative rookie or something like that. For me, I'm an 86 flare guy. That's a card I love. The 84 star, it's him getting a rebound. I don't think it's necessarily the best looking picture, so I just choose the one I
No,
like better.
no, the star photos are kind of ugly. They look very amateurish, I
Right,
think, to
right,
me.
yeah. So I'm an 86 flare guy, but that's just me. I mean, you know,
We can just say that the Fleer is the official rookie, whereas the Star is the unofficial rookie.
yeah. So both are great cards, and if you love rare cards, go for the star because the star is much, much, much more rare
Mhm.
than the 86 flare, but the flare is the iconic card of them all. Same
Right.
thing with Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Doesn't
Yeah,
Mickey Mantle have something similar as well?
everybody thinks 1952 Topps is Mickey Mantle's
First
official
card.
rookie card.
It's not.
It's not. 1951 Bowman, I think, is
Bowman,
it?
yes, Bowman. But how
1951
come the Bowman is not as popular as the 52 tops?
because
Same reason?
somehow the market has determined that that's the card they like better. And with the 51 Mantle, that is actually called his rookie card. It's not an alternative rookie card.
Right.
Okay.
And it's actually a card you get out of a pack
Yes.
versus the Star card.
Yes, but for some reason, the market has determined that that is the card that everybody wants. It's based on narrative, right? So however this narrative started, where that is the card that everybody wants, that's what everybody goes for, right? So it can change in the future. Who knows? I mean, the market can always change based on how many people are telling that story. If somebody like me and you were talking about this every single day and we make content about it every single day for like
Yeah.
years, then maybe that would change the market. But that's what it would take basically.
Wow. Blade, it was very nice to see and chat with you guys in Dallas. Same here, Blade.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, great seeing everybody that we normally see in Dallas. So that was really nice. So I really enjoyed that.
Of course.
Okay, so I think we got to all our comments. Let's wrap it up. This is going a little bit long. I know we stayed later than we started later than we
I know
usually.
it's midnight on the East Coast.
Yeah,
It's
go
pretty late for
guys.
you
And
too,
it's
Dan.
it's like it's what time is it? It's
It's 11 for you.
Yeah, so it's really late out here too. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that recap of the Dallas show. I have a vlog that will come out pretty soon. The vlog is going to be kind of boring because there's not a lot of videos, but I'm going to make it.
Not much content.
I'm going to make it for you guys. So expect to see that pretty soon. And then let me just plug a couple things, guys. So again, remember, if you want to try the Market Movers app, code is Curator. It's 20 cents for the first month. Just try it out. See if you like it. I think it's gonna be cool. I do have a Star Wars index coming pretty soon. That's gonna be dropping a couple weeks from now. So I think that's gonna be super cool. You guys will like that.
Nice.
If you guys need a Zion case, I have a code for that too, Curator, for the Zion cases. So go to town with that. And then also, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast. And Merle World Cards, we're trying to get him to 1,000. We need to get Merle World Cards YouTube to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. He needs to get there before CV Sports Cards does. We do have a bet going. They do
Oh,
have
Adrian.
a bet. The loser is going to run around naked at the next.
Oh no! Oh my God!
Okay,
I
that
don't know
is
which
the
one
bet.
you want to see us
And
naked.
they're gonna get paddled. Okay, they're gonna get
What?
paddled
By you?
by the other person. Okay.
Oh no, Adrian!
So
Sorry, dude.
so we need to make sure that
Oh no, which
Merlin,
one is like the worst?
because believe me, we don't want to see
The,
Merlin naked. We don't want to see him
you
naked,
don't want to
guys.
see Adrian naked either.
I've shared a room with Merlin at these
Oh,
shows.
shut up!
We don't want to see him naked, guys. So
Oh my God!
please,
Come on.
please help him out. They do have giveaways.
Oh yeah,
so,
like I said, I'm gonna have some box openings this week too. So make sure you go to my site and hit the bell button so you can be alerted when I do these live breaks. With these new boxes I got.
So check that out, guys. If you guys need stand-up stands for your cards,
Oh yeah,
I've got a code for stand-up display now. Curator, go use that. If you
so it's Curator. That's Curator.
Yes, if you guys need codes for graded guards or slab mags, you can contact me or Merlin directly, and we can hook you guys up with those orders. Yeah. So we got all these companies that are supporting. All these companies that are supporting our channel now, guys. So this is great news for us, but we got to make sure that we show them that we can actually support their companies also, because the more support and sponsorships we get, the more fun stuff that we can do with you guys. We can produce more content.
Exactly.
We can do more giveaways. We can get you guys more discounts, more hookups, all that stuff. We're growing. We are growing the Curator Army, the Merlin Maniacs. We're making Between Two Slabs a big brand name in the hobby now. So that's our goal, guys. So please help.
I'll probably have hopefully Bryan needs to send me the video. I need to start making the Break Even Club too of Dallas edition. So that'll be coming out this week as well.
Yeah. So
all
that
on
stuff,
all our channels.
Please support us. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching this. If you can, watch this on the replay. We need the views, guys. So just let it play throughout the day.
Yes, exactly. Please, please.
That helps us. Okay?
I know you're always looking forward to our shows, but we also looking forward to you to being, watching our show, and we need your support.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Okay, we'll end the night, and then we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, I'll see you back in LA.